インターネットの皆さん、こんにちは。今日はですね、昨日タイトル曲聞いたばっかりなんですけど、今日はアルバムの残りを聞いていこうと思います。ゆうたさんの Depths EP の B サイドを全部聞いていきたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Sunday to you all. Hopefully, you are enjoying your weekends. Or if you're watching this at any other point in the week, hopefully, having a great day nonetheless. We very recently checked out the title track. In fact, we checked it out yesterday. But we continue because we have the rest of the EP to check out. We are checking out Mr. Yuta's Depth EP. 昨日本当にオフ・ザ・マスク聞いた時にはこんなに感動してこんなにも盛り上がる曲になると思わなくて、昨日一曲聴いただけで、昨日のビデオ見た方はわかると思うんですけど、昨日ビデオ見て曲を聴いて、もう急に入り一ルのワンピックになりかけてるユータになると思わなくて、あんだけ大げさするんだったら、いや、これはすぐにアルバムを聴かないとダメだって思って、今日の空いてる時間のところでこのアルバムを聴くって決めて、聴いていきたいと思います。そういうことです。Yesterday, Yuta came in, absolutely wrecked me to bits, dropped a ridiculous banger that got me so invested in this project. I got so overly excited that I can't wait any longer. I have to experience what this rocker Yuta is like properly. I really hope the rest of the album is rocker Yuta, by the way, because oh my goodness. でもこのアルバムを聴き始める前にちょっと一つ言いたいことがあるんですけど、最初に昨日のビデオにコメントを書いてくれた方、本当にありがとうございます。ちゃんと皆さんのコメントを読んで、あと、コメントの中で一番聞いたことはこの、オフ・ザ・マスクとか、このユータさんの、このロッカーユータさんの、このインスピレーションみたいなのが誰なのかっていう質問。実際僕 J-ROCK そんな詳しくないって昨日説明してたんですけど、本当に J-ROCK って詳しくないんですよ。なので、誰がこのインスピレーションを取ってるのかとか、誰風な音なのかって聞いて、誰ですか？ハイドさんってたくさんコメントに書いてくれた方いたんですけど、実際ハイドさんの曲なんか聞いてたんですよ、この録画する前に。すごいわかりやすいですね。いや、本当にハイドさんの曲何個聞いて、だからオフ・ザ・マスクがこういう音になるんだっていうのすぐにわかりました。Thank you to all of you who left comments on yesterday's video when we checked out Off the Mask, and especially those of you who pointed out Mr. Hyde and their music, because I went and listened to a couple of their songs before recording, and it is so immediately clear where Off the Mask got its inspirations from in terms of sound, because it's unbelievable. It's a lot of fun. So thank you to all of you who pointed that out. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I have a new J-Rock artist to follow up with. でも、今日ハイドさんの話じゃなくて、ユータさんの曲の話っていうことなので、さっさと始めましょうか。We're not here to talk about Hyde, we're here to talk about Yuta, so let's get started sharp, shall we? Roll intro. では、日本人の方にちょっと説明なんですけど、僕普通こういう風にアルバム聴くときっていうのは英語のみで解説するんですけど、たまにもう年1回2回ぐらい日本語のアルバムカバーするんですけど、多分 NCT の関係のアルバムではこれ初めてになるので、ちょっと説明なんですけど、曲一個一個聴くんですよ、アルバムの。順番に、1曲目から最終曲まで1個ずつ聴いて、聴く前にこの2つ目のモニターに、このアルバムの1曲あたりのこの歌詞と作曲とアレンジのクレジットリスト横に置いてあるので、曲聴き始める前に、このクレジット書いてある名前を一個一個読んで、ちゃんとこの書いた人に名前を読み出して、ちゃんとリスペクトを出して、それから曲を聴いて、曲聴き終わったら、その曲の話をすると。それを繰り返して、アルバムを完全に聴き通すと ていうパターンなんです、ここは。まあ、日本語の解説は昨日と全く同じで、曲聴いてる間は多分英語のみか、ほぼ全部英語で、曲聴き終わったら日本語と英語の解説を足すと。それで、まあ、一個一個曲聴きながら最終曲また聴いて、そういうパターンです。It's a little bit of a long-winded explanation. Those of you English viewers or English-speaking viewers will already know this by now, because this obviously isn't the first NCT album we've covered here, or NCT-related album, I should say, sorry. But for those of you who are new around here, how I approach albums is before every single song, as you saw earlier when I was explaining Japanese, I have the album credits pulled up on the side. I read off who is responsible for lyrics, composition, and arrangement for every single song that we are listening to before we listen to them, because credit needs to be given where credit is due. And then we'll listen through the song, and then I'll give my 2 cents on the song. We'll rinse and repeat until we get through the entire album. Cool? Cool. Let's get started. Song number 1, Last Song. Lyrics by Yuta and Soichiro Ora. Composition: Yuta, Kevin D of The Answer, Ebenezer, Charlotte Wilson, and Wondertaker of The Answer, with Yuta, Ebenezer, Kevin D, and Charlotte Wilson on arrangement. So Yuta has credits, not only credits across the board, but first credit across the board. That's very cool. このユータが歌詞、作曲とアレンジ全部クレジットに載ってるだけではなくて、全部のカテゴリーで1番目の名前っていうのはすっごい立派なことですよ。彼が本当にもうこの曲のこの曲のクリエーションが本当に彼担当みたいな。一番好きですね、そういうのが。では、聴いていきましょう。ポチッ。Kind of giving me like Chicago Hard to Say I'm Sorry vibes right now. Oh no, I've got fruit flies again. Oh, that's not good. But I do love the fact that we have a very piano-driven beat, because this gives me power ballad vibes. That is my favorite genre of ballads, the power ballads from the 1980s. Peep the harmonies, by the way. Let it fade away. Started from an even lower point. Oh, this build is gonna be crazy then. It has to be. If you're resetting it like this. I can fly away, 'cause I'm not alone, not alone. Love that bump up. Wait. Key change into major. sus4 chord sequence. Love that. I love that we went from that mysterious kind of minor key to this more uplifting major key. Oh, it's a power ballad. Oh, he's not just embracing the rocker attitude, he is the rocker attitude. And then harder reset. Full hard reset to the bottom again. Oh, these lyric videos go very quickly. うわマジでパワーバラードでアルバムスタートちょっと待って、それずるいよ。ゆうたそれずるいよ。ちょっと待ってくれ。うわー、やられた。パワーバラードって一番好きなんですよ。僕、子供の時から80年代のロックとかヘビメタ、グランメタとかそういう曲、そういうジャンル聴きながら育ってたんで、そのうちで一番好きなのってパワーバラードなんですよ。だからまあ僕デフレパードとかってすごい好きなんですけど、パワーバラードでオープンするか。なんかすごい俺ターゲットされてる気分がするんですけど。I feel so targeted the fact that this album opened with a power ballad. Like, I grew up with 80s rock, hair metal, glam metal, whatever. But my favorite was the power ballad. I oftentimes say that this album is very me-coded, but this is very me-coded. What on earth? いやでも、このラストソングがスタートっていうのはすごいパワフルなオープニングですよ。この、ちょっとドラマティック感が強い、もうボーカルとパワーだけ、もうバーンとアタックしてくるっていうオープニングの曲っていうのはすごい面白いですよ。あと多分、聞き間違いではないと思うんですけど、確かラストソングって実際のこのバーンと出てくる大きいサビみたいなのって1個しかなかったですよね。それもすごい珍しいと思うんですわ。Now, I don't know if it's me kind of misremembering or just not, I was so lost in the sauce that I wasn't paying enough attention, but I'm pretty sure in last song, like that big heavy kind of release that we got, I'm pretty sure we only had one chorus. And that's really rare. Because the song was still, over 3 minutes long, but I'm pretty sure we only had one major chorus. It's just the build lasts for so long, it just kind of keeps going. Maybe we had two and I'm just not remembering, but either way, that's very cool. And a very powerful way to start the album too. Like, we are getting the raw rocker Yuta vocals with the power and the dramaticism of a big ballad like that. Psycho ですよ。But we have to move on. As you can see, we are doing Save You. まあ、次の曲に行きたいと思うんですけど、まあ、見た通りわかると思うんですけど、次の曲ってオフ・ザ・マスクなんですよ。タイトル曲、オフ・ザ・マスクなんですけど、まあ、こういうアルバムリッスンするときには、MV で聴いた曲は、このアルバムの時には聴かないんですよ。時間ちょっと稼ぐのに。なので、まあ、オフ・ザ・マスクじゃなくて、次聴く曲は Save You なんですけど、まあ、オフ・ザ・マスクのクレジットを読まないためなので、一回ちょっと読んでから Save You に進むということです。As you can see, we're not doing Save You right away, or we're not doing Off the Mask, sorry, because we've already spent time on it. Those of you familiar with how I do album listens will know what I'm talking about. But I haven't read the credits of Off the Mask yet, so that is what we are going to do. Track number 2, Off the Mask, lyrics by Yuta and Kents. Composition Yuta, Kevin D, Stephen Lee, and WXNE, Juan, Woon. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that. Arrangement, Yuta, Kevin D, Stephen Lee, and WXNE. You know what? Let's actually find out how I'm supposed to pronounce it. WXNE, or Aidmade, of Aidmade. Okay, very cool. And now we finally move on to track number 3, titled Save You, lyrics by Yuta and Kents. Composition, Yuta, Kevin D, 1000 of The Answer, Helix and Uji of 0P. Arrangement, Yuta, Helix, Kevin D of The Answer. Again, a song where Yuta has credits across the board, and also lead credit on every single category across the board. Very cool. We've got speed, we've got pace. That's really cool that we have both vocal harmonies in the background, top and bottom, depending on what part of the song you're in. Slow it down, but add the grit. Absolutely. Absolutely. The song also kind of teeters the line though between that fast beat and that halftime beat. It kind of switches back and forth a lot. Because now we've got that driving beat, right? Got that running bass now. And now, slow it down. And we've got that double time speed going on. And halftime. Even in the same chorus, it switches between double time and halftime.
Break free like a shooting stars. Right now.
Oh, we went down. Okay.
We're trading places. I gotta face it, no matter.
Vocal-driven re-entry for final chorus. Nice. And it looks like we're letting the halftime or the double time beat run for final chorus too. Never mind. Halftime. Yeah, これは楽しいわ。いや、これは楽しいわ。うわー。でも、ほんと、セイビューの自分的にすごい面白いポイントは、このスピード感ですよ。ちょっと英語ばっかりで細かい説明ちょっとしちゃったんですけど、このダブルタイムとハーフタイム、急にダンダンダダダルダダルダダダルで、すごいスピードを稼いでどんどん速くなっていく感じがする、この、曲は自然的に前にすごい速いスピードで動くこのダンダダルダダダンのビートがあって、それが、まあ時間、そのスタイルを使えば、次のフレーズになったら、ダン、ダン、ダン。ちょっとアンセム系な、ちょっと遅くなるハーフタイムのビートになって、ダブルタイムになって、ハーフタイムになってって、その入れ替えがすっごい効いてて面白いですよ。速くなって、このちょっと、なんかどんどん心拍が速くなって、ちょっとおとなしくなって、このヘッドバンギング遅くして、あと、ガーやって遅くなってって、プッシュプル行って帰ってっていうのすごい聞いてて楽しいですよ。Yeah, that double time halftime thing. I've mentioned it before with various other artists, but that push-pull sensation you get where you let the speed, drive the momentum of the song forward, you've got that energy, and then when you want that kind of heavy-hitting, almost slower headbang section coming in, you slow it down. Drop it into halftime. You let the momentum kind of marinate. You let the heavy-hitting beats do its thing. And then once the song feels like it's kind of starting to slow down a little bit again, momentum-wise, boom, double time it, ramp up the speed again. I'm telling you, man, music theory is very cool. And it's little composition cues like that make listening to music like Save You very fun for me. Now let's keep moving though, because I'm gonna run out of time tonight. じゃあ次の曲いきましょう。Track number 4, Bad Euphoria, lyrics by Rose Blooming, composition Akira, Jonghan, and Kaizen, with Akira and Kaizen on arrangement.
Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. They say bittersweet is life, but it's not that sweet. Honesty is so big.
Okay, so this one's taken a little bit of a step back in terms of pace, in terms of intensity as well. It has a bite, but it's a little bit more of a walking pace. Ooh. Oh, we went really bright with this one, didn't we? This is actually really interesting because there's parts of this song that feels really modern rock to me, but there's also certain elements that feel right at home in my area of expertise, that glam metal scene. Like, this pre-chorus feels very modern to me. Just like the chords they're using, the kind of sound signature we get, but like the big bold chords, big bright chords, the high vocal line. Feels that feels very glam metal to me. The double vocal line. Right now, my bad Euphoria. Bad Euphoria. I'm a bad Euphoria. 最高な曲じゃん今の。おー。本当に、もう僕グラムメタルがすごい好きで聴いてたってさっき説明したんですけど、この曲をこのパートによってはすごいモダンなロックの雰囲気するんです。例えばThe 1975とか、なんかそういう系統のもうちょっとポップ系なロック、まあグラムメタルの完璧な説明ですけど、最近のこういうポップロック系、本当にもう頭の中では1975が一番最初に出てくるんですけど、そういう雰囲気のところはあるんですよ。やっぱりプリコーラスとか、すごいちょっとモダン系な雰囲気があって、サビに変わった瞬間、まあちょっとモダンなビートは残ってても、すごいこのグラムロック、グラムメタル系のボーカルとかが入ってきて、自分的にはすっごい幸せに聴けるんですよ、この曲。それも楽しいし、ボーカルのフックもすごいいいし、どんだけ、まあオフ・ザ・マスクでもセイビューでもラストソングに比べても、このバッド・ユーフォリア実際すごい明るい音の曲じゃないですか。それにしても、ユータさんのボーカルがこのロッカー感のちょっとグリッドが残って、グリッティな声が残ってるっていうのは、そのコンボすっごい聴いてて面白いと思うんですよ。I explain, I think, in mass when we're listening throughout my like glam metal influences that I got from it. But in the modern sections, it does very much kind of feel like 1975, the 1975 to me in certain places, which is, I love the 1975. I think it's really cool. Especially that pre-chorus feels super modern to me. But then we hit that chorus, And it's the juxtaposition of not just it within the song, but within the album as well, right? Like you have, this is very clearly the brightest sounding song that we've gotten on this album so far. And yet, even with its brightness, even with its high vocals, Yuta is still retaining that gritty rocker vocal through that. Like, you know, when you're listening to the bad Euphoria, like he's still got that grit in his vocal. And I think that juxtaposition is wonderful to listen to. And that right now is my favorite B-side on the album. Oh, hold on. Right. Let's keep her moving, shall we? Track number 5, titled Prisoner. Lyrics by Yuta and Kent's. Composition Kevin Thrasher, Gruff Curtis Peoples, and Charlotte Sands, with KT or K Thrash. So I'm guessing that's Kevin Thrasher Gruffed on arrangement. So this time Yuta on lyrics only. Bad Euphoria, the only song on the album with no Yuta credit anywhere. Interesting.
I'm not a perfect person. I know I'll never be.
So it looks like, you know, with Bad Euphoria and Prisoner, we're starting to kind of let off the gas in terms of just that hard rock sound. It kind of feels like a rockified version of the Chainsmokers, something just like this. With that perpetual synthesizer line in the background. But like, Bad Euphoria was a bright song, but I think Prisoner for me might be the most pop sounding song on the album so far. Oh, we're not slowing down the bridge. We're just gonna ride that momentum through. Oh, never mind. We get an instrumental break into this. Into that vocal driven release. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, I like that. It's an easy song to enjoy. Nice. 曲、プリズナー、アルバムの中で、まあ、バッドユーフォリアは多分一番明るい音の曲だと思うんですけど、プリズナー自体は多分一番、まあ、この時点ではアルバムの中で一番ポップ系な曲の音の曲だと思います。自分的には。なんか、聞いてて思ったのは、チェインスモーカーズ詳しい人いるのかは分かんないんですけど、チェインスモーカーズが Something Just Like This っていう曲持ってるんですよ。なんか、ああいう系統の曲をもうちょっとこのエレクトリックギターのクランチ感を足した曲みたいなのが、そういう雰囲気します、プリズナーは。まあ、それは実際問題ではないんですよ。自分が聴いた曲何に比べられるかって言われると、多分そのチェインスモーカーズの Something Just Like Thisに なると思うんですけど、それにしても、まあ、どんだけポップ系の曲、一番ポップ系の曲だって言っても、このアルバム全体的から見ると、特にスタイルが一個だけ変にずれてるっていう雰囲気は全然しないですよ。やっぱりちゃんとこのギター感もあって、この、まあ、ユータさんのこのちょっとグリッティなボーカルを残してる明るいポップ系の曲だっていうだけで、曲のスタイルはアルバムの中では完璧に大丈夫なんですよ。でもその分、まあ、ラストソングがパワーバラードだとして、その後オフ・ザ・マスクでセイビューからちょっとずつ、ちょっと曲が優しくなってくっていう、この、アルバムのストーリーの話し方とかってすごい面白いと思うんですよ。I think, Prisoner being that, I called it Chainsmoker or something just like this, inspired, or not inspired, but like very sonically similar to it, just a little bit rockified, is not a problem for me. Because, I mean, one, I like it, but two, even though it is the most poppy sounding song on the album, it doesn't feel out of place on this album. And I think that's the important key detail here. Yes, it feels a little bit more popified, but you still get the crunch from the electric guitar. You still get traits of that grittier Yuta rocker vocal involved. And given not just the song itself, but the context of the entire album, you start with the power ballad last song, and then you go ramp up the intensity with Off the Mask and still retain that intensity with Save You, and then we slowly start letting off the intensity through Bad Euphoria and Prisoner. Progression-wise on the album, it also makes sense, like especially following Bad Euphoria. Prisoner makes sense why it sounds like the way it sounds, and why it's placed where it's placed on the album. So, all that considered, I have no qualms about the song whatsoever. It's just a nice, easy song to listen to. And, I love the intensity you get from songs like Off the Mask, but sometimes you want an easy song to enjoy, and Prisoner is a very easy song to enjoy. では次の曲に行きましょう。Track number 6, titled Goodbye, lyrics by Yuta, composition Samson, Bots, and Overmensch, with Bots and Overmensch on arrangement.
All my life I've been wondering, tell me why 僕らだったのだろう、Ask you but it's too late, and I'll show you
Tone down the speed now. Get a little bit more kind of emotional, so to speak.
秋戻してあの日にも一度壊れた broken heart 痛みの分だけ過ぎた時間を今
We have the firmness that we got from the earlier songs, with the kind of more softer emotional aspect that you got from Save. It's like if you combine last song with it's like if you combine last song, Off the Mask, and Bad Euphoria together, I think. Kind of all three elements put together. There are certain glam metal-y like elements in this, but you have the bite and you have the heaviness of the instrumental of one you'd expect from a harder rock sound. But the very pretty emotional aspect. Not overcomplicating the bridge either. Kind of an open-ended start. I think this is kind of like a trend on this album where we start very vocal focused on the final chorus and then we slowly add the instrumental section. I think the lyric video might have been incorrect on the romanization there, but that's okay. I'm not too focused on it. Yeah, he's definitely not singing A and Goodbye. That's fine. まあちょっと歌詞のビデオのローマ字が間違ってるっていうのはそんなに気にしてないので、気がついたのは気がついただけで、そこまででいいと思うんですけど、グッドバイいいんじゃないですか。ちょっとこのイモーショナル感が効いてるアンセム系な曲。英語で説明してたんですけど、このラストソングからのイモーショナル感とオフ・ザ・マスクからのちょっとハードロック感をこのバッドユーフォリアみたいなちょっとたまにグラムメタル系のこの作曲スタイルを混ぜるとこのグッドバイみたいな曲ができるんですよ。その3つのコンボって結構すごい気に入ってると思うんですよ。でもこういうグッドバイみたいなちょっとイモーショナル感が効いてるアンセム系の曲になると聴いてる僕ちょっと喋りすぎてたかもしれないんですけど、ユータな声のちょっと癖っていうかがちょっと変わるんですよ。このって強くやってるぞみたいなこのグリッド感がちょっと柔らかくなるんですよ。それで聞いててこの心にすごい大切、心がすごい重い、心がすごい痛いみたいなボーカルスタイルが出てくると、僕みたいにバラードとかが好きな人にしては最高な曲になるんですよ。ちょっと聞いててもっとこれもう歌ってる人は本当に心から歌ってるんだっていう感じながら聴けるっていうのはすごい幸せだしすごい楽しいんですよ。Me as a ballad fan, I love hearing a more emotional song because the emotion, whether it's good or bad, light or heavy, is portrayed really well when you get in your feelies, so to speak. And in Goodbye, it's really evident for me, and that I might have been talking over for you guys, but his vocal tone changes. It loses a little bit of that powerful grittiness that we got in the more faster songs earlier on in the album. And it kind of, you gain that emotional vulnerability is the wrong word for it. The emotional honesty of the song. That's a better way of phrasing it. If it's going to be a kind of more angsty, heavier song, you're going to feel it in the vocals. Goodbye, you immediately feel that kind of longingness, that heavy, emotional heaviness, just from listening to him sing. Completely voiding the instrumental section, his voice alone is a dead giveaway as to what the emotion of this song is. And you really only get that in such a true form like this on your kind of more sappier emotional songs. Most certainly with your emotional ballads and emotional anthems like this. Sure, you can get them in more emotional upbeat songs, but I think it shines through in a very different level with this type of music. And yeah, as a ballad lover myself, listening to songs like this makes me very happy, but it also gets me locked in emotionally with what the artist wants me to feel. And that is very satisfying for me. では、最終の曲を聴いていきましょう。Let's get started with the final song on the album, track number 7, Butterfly, the depth version. I don't know if this is a previous release of his that's getting remixed or what. Well, considering it says depth version, I'm guessing this is a previous single or song of his that he's released that's being packaged with this album. But I haven't heard the original, so we're going to listen to it now. このタイトルを読むと、このバタフライディプスバージョンって多分、ユータが前に書いて前に歌ったことあるバタフライっていう曲をこのアルバム用に作り直したとかリマスターしたとかと思うんですけど、 まあ、オリジナル聞いたことないので、このバージョンを今日聞くっていうことです。いや、lyrics, Yuta and Kamihate. Composition, Yuta, Kevin D, Dash Horn of D Answer, Kamihate, Uji of 0P, Akira Kaizen, and Overmensch. Arrangement, Yuta, Kevin D, Akira Kaizen, and Overmensch. So we just have a smorgasbord of producers from the other songs on this album. That's cool. なんか、この、作曲とアレンジの名前一覧見ると、このアルバムで出てきたプロデューサーをなんかごちゃ混ぜしたみたいな音楽チームっていうのなんか見てすごい面白いわ。あ、行きましょう。バラードスタートでバラードフィニッシュ？The acoustic guitar is a nice touch, or at least being able to hear the distinct strums. Oh, maybe it's not a ballad. Oh, anthem. Anthem finish. Nice. Okay, so this is the type of anthem where you combine the pace of last song with the intensity of Up Mask. No brightness, we're just going raw, heavy rock. You just let it, whoop, that vocal just flies up. Oh, that brief moment of silence before that kind of... It's not a whammy bar dive, it's a pick slide down, but...このバタフライは実際、まあ、2分27秒って言ったら今の K-POP の世界では、まあ、フルレングスの曲なのはなんですけど、曲実際に聴くと、なんか、フルレングスの曲よりもちょっとアウトロの曲みたいな雰囲気がなるんですね。面白いわ。実際、本当に今曲聞いたことないの、今日まで聞いたことないので、どういう曲なのかってちょっと考えてたんですけど、まあ、この Dips バージョンって書いてある分、ちょっとこのアルバムにフィットするように、もうちょっとロックを足したのかはわかんないんですけど、さっきプリズナーに行った時と全く同じコメント。どんだけちょっと曲のスタイルが他の例えばラストソングは本当にバラードで、バタフライは本当にアンセム系であって言っても、曲のこのロック感だけでこのアルバムの中では全然問題ないっていうこと。Yeah, I don't know if this is a remake or a remaster or if this is completely rewritten for this album, considering it says depth version on it. But, you know, not knowing the original and whatever they did with this depth version in terms of like the musical styling of it, yeah, it perfectly fits with this album. It's got the heaviness, it's got the intensity to it. It's loud too. It's a really loud song and it's quite satisfying to listen to. But I think for me, Butterfly almost comes off as like an outro song on this album. And yes, I know it's 2 minutes 27 seconds in this K-pop day and age can be considered a full-length song, which makes my heart hurt considering when the 80s music I grew up on, songs would have been 5 minutes long. And that'd be perfectly fine. But with just the way this album goes, Butterfly feels like a very almost poignant like outro song, so to speak. Like teetering the line between a bona fide outro and a bona fide final song in a way. Like it's got that finale vibe to it, but it doesn't have like the length that I expect of a final song to have, if that makes sense. And I think that balance is really interesting. Huh. Nice. 本気で言って、この NCT って僕と NCT のちょっと歴史ってすごいごちゃごちゃなんですよ。日本語のビデオでは多分説明したことないんですけど、僕の一番最初の NCT の曲は、Beautiful なんですよ。2021年の。パミオン・ミッチェレルン・ビョルドが一番最初の NCT の曲なんですよ、僕の。まあその後、イルイチルのキックイットとか、NCT ドリームの Hello Future とか聞いて、それからまあ NCT の他のグループの曲とかもバンバン聞いて、今日の時点まで来てるんですけど、イルイチル127だけにフォーカスすると、ちょっと、まあ、この話今するとちょっと暗いコンテクストがつくんですけど、最初にこのイルイチルを聞いて、おー、すごいなんか感動する、なんかすごい興味あるっていう人が、まあ、今メンバーラインナップに残ってないメンバーの声だったんですよ。多分名前言わなくてもわかると思うんですけど。でも、このイルイチルを聞きながら、ジョニーはシカゴ出身で、僕もシカゴでアメリカに住んでて、シカゴ出身の友達っていうよりも、シカゴ出身の人なんだ、そうなんだ、マークラップもいいんだ、ヘちゃんの声すごい面白いんだ、ドヨングの声もすごい綺麗な高さがあるんだ。まあ、そういう風に、1メンバーずつこういう風にタンタンと、イルイチルのことを学んだんですよ。ユータはユータだけのタレントって習うところチャンスなかったんですよ。まあ、ジェイヒャンも同じですけど、去年 DJJ のデビューがあって、今年ジェイヒャンのデビューがあって、まあ、テヨングのデビュー去年あったりとか、ドヨングも今年デビューあって、こういう風に本当にまたメンバー一人ずつ、本当に知らないメンバーとかも、小林が飛んでる。知らないメンバーとかも、このように一人一人学んでったんですよ。ソロプロジェクトとかユニットプロジェクトとかで。でも本当にイリーチルの中ではユータだけ知らなかったんですよ。日本人だっていうのは知ってて、それだけだったんですよ。でもこのディプスのアルバム聴いてから、もうタイトル曲だけで満足だったんですけど、アルバム聴いた後、実際自分の音楽の好みとか考えれば、音楽スタイルだけで見ると、ユータはイルイチルのワンピックですよ。自信持って言えます。こんだけもうロックでやるだけじゃなくて、正しく違うスタイルのロックをこんだけバンバンやって、もう 120% ロッカーですっていうアティチュードを持って、こんなアルバム出せるっていうので、これだけで、これ分かっただけで、イルイチルの音楽スタイルだけでイルイチルのワンピック。I've have kind of a colored history when it comes to 127, or just NCT in general. I've explained this on a handful of occasions in English, but never in Japanese. Hence why the Japanese explanation took so long just now. But I started with Beautiful, NCT 2021. And then eventually, I've got 127's Kick It, Hello Future, NCT Dream, stuff like that. But what got me into 127 initially, and admittedly, now that I'm talking about it today, it's a little bit awkward because He Who Shall Not Be Named's voice was the reason I got into 127 to begin with. You know who I'm talking about. Let's move on. But over the course of checking out 127 and the various unit releases, various solo releases that we've gotten, you know, we had DJJ last year, we had Taeyong last year, we had Doyoung, we had a Taeyong comeback, we had Jaehyun earlier in the summer. I've had the ability, or I've been lucky enough to have the ability to learn about kind of each individual member's musical preferences, so to speak, through 127. And then for those who haven't had solo musical projects, I've known in other means, whether it's, you know, Haechan and Mark, I've gotten to know them through Dream. But that really left Yuta as the only one I just did not know a lot about. Checked out the title track yesterday, I fell in love with it, but now that I've listened through the album, and this is by no means meant to bring down any of the other members, but for me, on musical style and preference alone, Yuta is my 127 bias in terms of musical preference and musical style on his lonesome. Because not only did he drop a brilliant rock-based album, he did it properly. He covered a wide range of proper rock sounds and did it at 120% and did them all the justice that they deserved. That alone makes him musically my one pick when it comes to 127. Now, personality and actual like group context, that's a different story. I've yet to choose a bias in 127 based off of that front. But off of musical preference alone, Yuta, you are a brilliant, brilliant man. Yuta, ほんまに、本当に言って、心から言って、こんだけ、まあ一番知らないメンバーだったっていうのは本当に申し訳ないんですけど、こんだけ1アルバム聴いただけで感動するっていうことはめったにないんですよ。でも本当にこの Dips のアルバム聴いてめちゃくちゃ感動してすっごい楽しいアルバムで、まあこれからイルイチルみんな軍に入ってどうなるのかわかんないんですけど、もうユータは本当にこのロックの音どんどんやってほしいですよ。こんだけデビューでこんないいプロダクトできるんだったらどんどんアルバム出してほしいですよ。もうこれは本当にすごいです。本当に本当にすごいです。いやー、感動するわ。感動するわ。でもまあ曲は全部聴いて話したいことは全部話したので、今日はここで終わりにしたいと思います。ここまで聞いてくれた方は本当にありがとうございます。実際本当に日英バイリンガルでアルバムってめったにやんないんですけど、まあ説明を2回しないってのでも本当に長くなるんですよ。それでまあ6曲聴いてこのアルバム聴くの生では53分の時点まで来てるんですけど、普通アルバム聴くときってこの半分ぐらいの長さなんですよ。でも本当に最後まで見てくれた方本当にありがとうございます。最後まで聞いてくれて本当にありがとうございます。そのチャンネル登録、ライク、コメント、その辺は全部よろしくお願いします。あと、NCT は結構プレイリスト持ってるんですよ、チャンネルページで。日英バイリンガルのプレイリストは、まあ日本語の方多分、このビデオの下のディスクリプションの中にリンクがあると思うんですけど、もう日英バイリンガルだけのプレイリストっていうのはチャンネルのホームページにあるので、まあ他のどういうアーティスト見たい方はそっち方向に行ってください。多分 NCT 関係ではドリームの日本語リリース、最近ではムーンライトとか、他に何があるかな、日本語の NCT は。今すぐ思い出せないんですけど、結構たくさんのアーティストで日英バイリンガルのビデオやってるので、それ見たい方はそっちに行ってください。あと、まあ、NCT の他のコンテンツ全部集めたプレイリストは NCT のプレイリスト、そのまんまチャンネルホームページにあるので、それ見たい方、そっちに行ってください。OST とか、イルイチル、NCT U、Wavy、NCT Dream、NCT Wish、全グループそのプレイリストの中入ってるので、それ見たい方はそこに行ってください。では、次のビデオまで。さよなら。And for my English speaking viewers, thank you all for sticking with me. If you made it this far, I know it's long-winded. Like, looking at raw recording time, we're approaching 55 minutes raw recording time, and this was a 6-song like mini album that we just listened to. The fact that I'm having to explain it twice just really takes a long time. So if you made it this far, thank you for your patience. Thank you for listening along with me. The usual NCT playlists are on the channel homepage. You have the full NCT playlist that has every single subunit that NCT has. I think that will be the one that I put this into, and of course I have individual playlists for Wish, Dream, U. I don't know if I have one for NCT U, but 127 for sure I will have one for. And if you're curious as to any of the other videos I've made in both Japanese and English, there's a playlist for that too if you're interested in that. But this is where I'm going to leave it for today. Thank you all for listening along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One less request from me today. Let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world. Whether it be checking in with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness to may brighten up someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, oh my goodness, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.